He crashed in crypts beneath the stone. Steel met curse, flesh met bone. A scream, a stake, the sky grew red. Dracula's reign finally bled. Whisper and fog, figure in black. Blood on his lips, no turning back. She danced in moonlight, a blush on her skin. He came like a whisper, inviting her sin. A kiss that drained life, a night to forget. Yet one more soul caught in his net. In the silence of her room he crept, while the world outside just slept. Desire and death in every breath, love and hunger dressed as death. Monster of darkness, master of darkness, walker of shadows, and in through her windows. Love and hunger dressed as death. Monster of darkness, master of darkness, walker of shadows, and in through her windows. Tales spread fast in cobbled towns of pale girls cold in wedding gowns. But from the smoke rose holy wrath. Van Helsing sworn to purge his path. Pages turn, the stakes are drawn. He rides by dusk, arrives by dawn. A hunter's eyes a vow to keep, to drag the beast from maidens. Monster of darkness, master of darkness, walker of shadows, and in through her windows. Monster of darkness, master of darkness, walker of shadows, and in through her windows. He danced in moonlight, a blush on her skin. He came like a whisper, inviting her sin. A kiss that drained life, a night to forget. Yet one more soul caught in his net. In the silence of her room he crept, while the world outside just slept. Desire and death in every breath, love and hunger dressed as death.
He laughs in cathedrals, he weeps in graves, but Van Helsing knows what the monster craves.
Fangs of silver, truth like flame, evil always leaves a name. They clashed in crypts beneath the stone. Steel met curse, flesh met bone. A scream, a stake, the sky grew red. Dracula's reign finally bled. Monster of darkness laid to die. Master of darkness, arms so wide. Walker of shadows, sent to light. He broke through my windows, killed me, good night. I drove the stake, I watched him fall. A silent scream, no sound at all. She clung to him, her eyes so red. I turned my blade, she joined the dead. The crypt was cold, the air was thick with ancient blood and curses sick. I should have burned what darkness bore, but left his corpse upon the floor. Now evil's eyes are watching me in mirror shade and trembling tree. I smell the moon, I feel the tide. The beast within I cannot hide. One winter dusk, she leapt from mist, a she-wolf's fang, a cursed kiss. I fought her off with fire and steel, but not before her wound would heal. My flesh it burns, my bones reshape. In every howl I feel escape, yet I remain half man, half night, a hunter now who fears the light. Now evil's eyes are watching me in mirror shade and trembling tree. I smell the moon, I feel the tide, the beast within I cannot hide. I see his face in every dream, his laugh a thread in every scream. The bride I felt, the prince I failed, and cursed I walk, forever veiled. Now evil's eyes are watching me in mirror shade and trembling tree. I smell the moon, I feel the tide, the beast within I cannot hide. The curse that followed, etched in me, no holy light will set me free. He waits beneath the blood-soaked sod, still watching, smirking like a god.
I never meant to lead them to dark. Craig and Laura, Anne and them, Joey's love bug a spark, and Jess, the Jess brightest of them. We drank, we laughed, we roamed the night, but now I kneel to ancient right.
My hands were shaking, the dagger drawn. The ritual moon betrays the dawn. A whispered name, the circle red. Dracula rises from cradle of dread. Laura, sweet Laura, stood far too near. His thirst awoke, she disappeared. The price of the pact, the breaking of trust. Friendship to ash, blood into dust. I called him forth, now fate must play, and those I loved are led astray. Craig fought back with all his might, but shadowed claws snuffed out his light. And screamed loud, then silence fell, and stood brave, too brave to yell. Joe ran last, but none outrun. A prince of night, the eldest son. But poor Bob stood frozen still. A bite, a scream, a newfound will. And I begged to serve and die. But Master smiled and passed me by. The price of the pact, the breaking of trust. Friendship to ash, blood into dust. I called him voice unsure. Why leave her breathing, this girl so pure? He turned with fire in regal eye, a smirk that cleaved the darkened sky. She bears a name your bloodline fears. The hunter's breath still lingers near. The price of the past, the breaking of trust, friendship to ash, blood into dust. I called it forth, now fate must play, and those I loved are led astray. Her name I asked, my will unspoken. He answers calm, the fate awoken. She is Van Helsing, Jessica, you fool. Her grandfather comes to end my rules. You whispering paler like you know my name, but that mask was won in a mortal game. The truth is darker than tales you've been fed. I was terror before your kind counted dead. Latos in the mist and Lekos in the fog. Mora in the dust, just a myth in your log. Or luck creeps in silence with features grotesque. Tesla with fangs behind elegance dressed. Each name a veil, each age a shell. Not one of them knew me that well. From Orlok to Morok and Latos to Lekos, the Tesla to Dracula. No matter the name, forever untamed. A monster of darkness, the master of darkness, a walker of shadows and in through all windows. Vladapes was born, then fell to lust's side. A man who was cursed, too weak to hide. But me, I was there when fire met bone, when men screamed demon in tongues unknown. You lit your fires and carved your stones, prayed in caves with brittle bones. But I came before even fear had formed, a night-born storm, the primal norm. From Orlok to Morok and Latos to Lekos, the Tesla to Dracula. No matter the name, forever untamed. A monster of darkness, the master of darkness, the walker of shadows and in through all windows. So call me what stories allow you to see, but I am the dark that predated your plea. Not a man, not a myth, not cursed or contrived. I am the beast your fear kept alive. From Orlok to Morok and Latos to Lekos, the Tesla to Dracula. No matter the name, forever untamed. A monster of darkness, the master of darkness, a walker of shadows and in through all windows. Sing. Time I've seen the cross rise, or faith burn fierce behind human eyes. A century past I danced with Abraham, a hunter of legend, bound by man. And I know that tale, your crimson rain, the blackest stain, the blood-born bane. You call yourself prince, but you are just a scar, a shadow that flees from morning star. bear the name Lorimar van Helsing, but do you bear the weight it brings? Abraham fell, righteous but slow. His was a fight a century ago. And yet he struck you, staked your pride, chased your terror to where you hide. I know zealots swinging blind, but one who sees what crawls behind. This is no beast against a blessed sword, no dance of death to a priest's accord. No, this time it's scholar versus sovereign blood, a prince of night against a lamb in flood. And I am no lamb nor lost in fright, but bathed in truth, robed in light. You mock, yet I see your measured stare. The black dust tremble, but whispered prayer. This is not myth, not hope, not tale, but judgment poised on shadow scale. Evil and good with eyes unveiled, each knows the other, neither pales. I've walked with kings, drunk popes like wine, built empires where no sun did shine. But you, child of daylight, mind and creed, come now to face the root of greed. Not greed, but grief has filled your veins, and fear wraps round your regal chains. I came not to boast, nor bask in fame, but to end the curse that bears your name. You carry faith like blade and shield, yet I see the tremble you try conceal. Yet me I carry age and pain refined, with every scream mankind designed. And so I carry every prayer, every cry of those you spared. So mock me, prince, with a regal grin. You've never faced a faith this grim. Lorimar, let our dance begin, for only death will end this sin.
From marble halls and senate rooms, they swore to rot the world in bones. My cult in silken law and charm, yet still they feared one ancient harm. I stood with books and sacred signs, the last of light in shadow times. My name they knew before the fight, the Van Helsing spark in darkest nights. No more games, no more delay, I've captured you now, I've won this day. Lorimar, scholar, last of your breed, you'll die before you dare impede. You shroud yourself in power and gold, but truth is older, strong and bold. Take my life or test my flame, but you will never own my name. A master of darkness, the master of darkness, a walker of shadows, dare be left through the window. As the woods where sin still breathe, I offered grace, now you deceive. Foolish priest with hunter's flair, I sent your soul, it's bright but bare. Each step I take, I call his name to guide me past the pits of flame. Though hunted by hell's crown prince, I walk in light you can't convince. A man in darkness, fleeing in darkness, a runner in shadows. I can see your soul's windows. Through thought and fog I find you still. Come out, dear lamb, I've had my fill. The moon is high, your prayers are on. Let's send his tail in crimson gold. You'll find no fear behind my eyes, just truth and thorn and your demise. A man in darkness, the master of darkness, two walkers in shadows, and through hawthorn windows. They fight one cruel defense, the crown of him, a senseless lens. Wear me, child. You could be God, rule the world with fire's nod. The ring lies cold within his palm, a relic sealed in evil's calm. Dracula's crest, a crimson bloom, forged in death, a prince's tomb. The battle's won, the night undone, but still one flame has yet to run. Lorimar breathes a sacred prayer, yet holds the ring and lingers there. He sees the eyes, the endless night, the plague of centuries without light. But deeper still within the gold, a vision speaks silent and bold. No grave, no rot, no dying pain, no failing hands, no blood-stained cane. He lives forever, fierce and proud, while judgment whispers soft but loud. Not to the cross, but sketchy turns, and in the ink ambition burns. Could he be more than mortal line of Van Helsing, dark and undefined? But I know this curse can twist the truth, turn light to ash and faith to noose. One drop, one ring, and I'll become the shadow Father warned me of. So take this sin, this wretched prize, and drown it in the mercy skies. The hammer calls from temple stone, the crypt still echoes with his groan. He lifts the ring, now black and slick, the air grows still, the shadows thick. Wear me, child, you could be God, rule the world with fire's nod. But Lorimar, with tearful eyes, screams to the void, your line must die. I know this curse can twist the truth, but I choose the pain, I choose the proof. With holy heart and mortal skin, I in the blood, I break the sin. You'll never rise, not through my breath. I give you one last final death. I lay you to cease, I rest now in peace. I give you your end, I leave you now, my old friend. I was not born with fang or flame, but bled and wept with mortal name. Flatted past, cursed background for power gained. Kin fell down, I begged the stars to shield my land, and carved their will with trembling hand. A throne of ash, a
crown of dread, all I loved now cold and dead. My son, he cried beneath the spire, before he burned in war's fire. My bride, her gaze was last to turn, as I became the beast they spurned. What horror built from heart once pure, what sin no state could quite obscure, and yet in you the end was near, not in hate, but strangely clear. The night grew tired, my will grew thin. I was never meant to truly win. Thank you, old friend, for giving me my end. Once I was an impaler king, now found my peace with Helsing. I danced in moonlight far too long, feeding on fear to feel strong. But shadows hide no deeper grace than resting in a friend's embrace. You did what others could not see. You freed the part that still was me, and in your gaze I saw no scorn, just mercy for a soul war-torn. No flame could burn what truth you knew, that even monsters once bled true. Thank you, old friend, for giving me my end. Once I was an impaler king, now found my peace with Helsing. Me where moonlight fades among the stones and morning shades. My tale is closed, no more to roam. You've laid me down and led me home. Let me breathe this black nevermore, far beyond old death's tall door. Stained from nights gone bad, howling skies, a beast roams the land. I walk alone when none forgive, for cursed I am and still I live. Each grave I find becomes my bed, yet moonlight wakes what should stay dead. No peace in death, no peace in mind, the beast returns time after time. Even a man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when wolfbane blooms and every moon is full and bright. I said the words, I knelt and cried, but still the fangs would rise inside. And every scream I begged the skies, why can't this son of sin just die? Then came the cross in silver flame, a voice that knew my Welshman name. Not one bullet had won the war, but Christ reached down and opened doors. I chose the light, I shed the night, the wolf within began to fight. But grace held strong, my mind is mine. He broke the chains, now I will shine. How many times I murderized, but never once was I denied. The wolf was bold, the moon was high, but mercy scorched my devil's lie. I chose the light, I shed the night, the wolf within lost all its bite. Christ made me whole, my soul aligned. The beast is gone, and I am mine. And now I walk with faith recalled. The moon may rise, but I won't fall. A man reborn by sacred might. The wolf is gone, I walk in light.
the blood full moon I rise again, stirring fire in my cauldron's den. With a whisper thin as spider's thread, I wake the legion of living undead. Creeping along a windowsill, a cloak unfurls in vilest will. A walker of shadows, out from the blackness come forth, vampire, my master of darkness. Lightning cracks from the mind of brashness, comes the monster of science madness. Out from bog bay and treasure trove, the lagoon creature leaves its cove. A monster of madness, from mind of brashness, a walker from blackness, the master of darkness, beast from hate vexness, as old as Loch Ness. This is the call of the monsters, tear through the heavens, and blacken landings from witches' chant and angels' death. All be aware, this is light's last breath.
A howl is heard on midnight air. The werewolf lurches from his lair, wrapped in rags with eyes of sand. The thing entombed obeys my hand. A creeping mold with glutton thoughts, my fungus wakes, a mind long rot. From distant stars with no remorse, invading evils chart their course. A monster of madness, the master of darkness, the beast from old Loch Ness, dire hound for feastness, old thing from sandiness, and E.T. from weirdness. This is the call of the monsters, tear through the heavens, and blacken landings rise from sea, earth, and stars. Set justice low far and far, yet here comes arriving in droves, a one-armed warrior, Inspector Crow, the fisherman's hook, the Welshman's soul, the good old dogs who still patrol. A gale from Oz, all bright and bold, my pretty I hiss, I'm losing control. Good rogues with warning fill the air, as Helsing stirs with stake and prayer. They come, I snarl with fire and faith, but truth and light are fragile wraith. Silver and sun, they pierce the shroud, they challenge beasts that scream aloud. Though darkness laughs and shadows bite, the heart of man still burns so bright. My monsters tremble, bonds unmade, their fury dims in dawning shade. Lost my vile morning star, the end of my witchy war. One-armed warrior, just in law carrier, a Welshman's faith restored, tall bidding maid and lord, a man in the darkness, a scholar of lightness. Please call off the monsters. Mummy fades under desert hill, black lagoon runs cold and still. The wolf cowers from morning's face, Frankenstein flees the people's chase. Shadows away to castle town, call off the monsters now.
But even stars must dim someday, and heroes often fade away. When next I chant for the undead fam,
You'll hear again the call of the damned.